I got you something.
What is it?
Because we're friends.
Yeah.
It's a t-shirt.
You know, I was wearing the other t-shirt last week for the podcast day. And they got dirty. So it's in, I think, the clean clothes now. That's fucking awesome, dude. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Oh, man. We should maybe see if Jenny will take us a picture of us in these later.
I figure we're going to need stuff for the Pitsmas.
Oh, man. That's the best. Thanks, Jules. That's great.
There's a surprisingly limited number of items that you can buy with him on it.
I like that they're young Brad Pitt, too.
This one I thought was California.
I mean, it seems like it's from
but
that
the
zone.
label said True Romance. Like the actual label. So I guess.
Okay, if his hat's not on.
Yeah. I mean, it's nothing that's like identifiable from that movie.
What'd you think we were going to be talking about?
You know, we've been doing Brad Pitt, so I just for some reason was thinking we were doing the Pitsmas, and I completely forgot. It's the first week that I haven't watched the movie right up at the deadline and then scrambled to get my notes put together before coming here. I just got up and came.
Yeah, I wonder if we're going to remember it all. I'm Jason.
And I'm Jules.
And
we doing filmographies. Tonight we are on the 9th episode of Sir Wesley Snipes.
Sir Wesley.
And what a ride this has been.
Tonight we're doing a Waterdance.
I'd never heard of this film.
I have heard of it. I think it was on IFC.
How come I never heard of it then?
But also, when I went through my horny for Helen Hunt phase, this is where you will find her naked.
Wow,
so there's screenshots of Helen Hunt's tits up on the internet.
Horny for Helen Hunt, eh?
Yeah, I'm wondering. I feel like I must have been like...
Twister?
17 or 18.
What would it have been?
I don't know, man. Something just clicked about her.
Weird.
Maybe it was as good as it gets, and I was like...
is that what Greg Kinnear?
Get some of that goods. Yes.
Yeah. Interesting. Honestly, I
Mad About You and the high jeans really got me worked up.
I was never really about her, but in this movie, I liked her.
She's like a very nice regular lady.
She's got nice breasts as well.
I was a little confused about how I was so hot for her, but I was like, yeah, I like her.
I mean, that hospital scene...
Yeah.
It's kind of steamy. Mm-hmm. It's very inappropriate.
Yeah.
You know.
But weird, also at the same time, I like that everybody's just like, just let him do it.
Just shut up.
Let him blast her in there.
Yeah. He's got a finger binger.
So, Waterdance.
Mm-hmm.
What do you got for me?
This movie was from 1992. Mm-hmm. Rated R, 1 hour and 46 minutes. It has a tagline. Imagine being trapped inside your own body. Imagine being set free.
What? Okay.
I will apologize. I do still sort of have a little bit of a sick voice.
I don't know
if you can tell.
No.
The viewers will tell. They'll ridicule me.
Listeners. I don't think... I mean, these guys aren't really trapped in their own bodies. Their legs are bad. The only, I think thorough paraplegic is that guy using the tube to drive around. Is he using the tube? Or does he just have a trachea tube?
I think he just has a trachea tube. I feel like, what's the Korean boy's name? Song. I feel like he's either still really early in his rehab, or he's lost a significant portion of his upper body abilities as well.
Okay.
Because he's driving his chair, but I don't know, he can't grab stuff.
Yeah.
But neither, I mean, it seemed, when it first began, I wasn't sure if Eric Stoltz was
I was quite surprised when he had the use of his arms, because I thought he was...
Because he's just laying there.
Yeah.
You know, and they're, touching on him, and then eventually he's got the halo and shit, so I'm like, oh, he must not even be able to support his own head.
Were you thinking about this while you watched the movie, like what it would be like in the chair?
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting, because it's like, I truly feel for the people in this movie, the characters. It's sad to have that part of you robbed. Mm. However, the level of defeat on them also bummed me out, because it's like you can still have a perfectly nice life being in this wheelchair. Now, you have to come to terms with the death of the previous you and just adjust to what you have to work with now. Mm-hmm. And the sex thing, I think, is a huge problem. That's a real sad thing to say goodbye to.
Yeah, it's got to be frustrating.
But you're not just a sack of garbage to be set away and taken away, just waiting for death.
I mean, it sucks you have the pee bag and the poop bag, but you are still mobile.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, as It'd be one thing if, you're blowing in the straw.
Even then, some people make do with that just fine.
No, I'm not saying that's like...
No, I know you're not.
But you probably need an aid of some sort with you and what have you. But I was also a little confused. He must not be a successful, wealthy writer.
I think he's doing okay.
Otherwise,
it's based on the life of that guy after he made... Is it River's Edge? It's not at close range. It's River's Edge he wrote, right? He was the hot young writer. He was super cool. And then
he went on a
paralyzed,
hike and fell and busted himself up. And this was his only directorial project. Mm-hmm. He wrote it and directed it, of course, as well. It had estimated budget of $2.7 million. It grossed $1.7.
It's a bummer because I specifically never watched this movie because, and wait for this terrible phrase, I didn't want to watch a wheelchair movie. I thought it sounded like a bummer and it would have nothing to offer me.
Yeah.
That's more of when it was on IFC, when I avoided it as a young teenager, 14 to 15. I don't know that I would say that now. I would hope I wouldn't.
You just did.
I think the issue with this movie, and it's why I like it, is because it avoids... there's broad characterizations that I think bring it down a little bit, but that's just from the time, I think. But it avoids any real revelatory...
it's all well-drawn characters.
Nobody's really... going on to, greater, they're, whatever, but it isn't like, oh, I understand now, or I've accomplished this. It's just like, well.
No, this is, I assume that truth and realism is based on the guy writing and directing it, Yeah. He didn't go for any bullshit. He's like, this is the hard reality that we're at now. God, the people are really well drawn in this. All right, sorry.
And so I think that's perhaps maybe what worked against it. Everybody wants that gets up and walks type bullshit moment, and
this is so much better than that.
Yeah, I wonder what Ebert gave this.
I bet he gave it a very good review.
I bet he really liked it. Apparently, Jason Patrick was originally set to play Joel.
Oh.
It could have been all right.
Yeah.
He's not... He's on par with like an Eric Stoltz.
We got real burned on fucking Sleepers, though, so I'm not real pro Jason Patrick at the moment.
Vincent D'Onofrio was originally set to play Bloss.
That would have been good.
That would have been good, but I think, maybe people would have been looking at that Apocalypse Now kind of institutional performance or whatever, and I don't know. Hard to say. But
you mean Full Metal Jacket?
That too.
Okay. He's not an Apocalypse Now.
Yeah. Eric Stoltz spent 3 months in a wheelchair.
Oh, wow.
In preparation for this role and stayed in the chair throughout filming.
Man, there's no leg bullshit in this. I never am like, hey, your leg's moving. I believe that their legs don't work.
Well, and not only that, but I believe that each of them is as comfortable in their chair at the levels they're at.
Yeah.
Wesley Snipes, he's practically got it down, but that's his personality. Bloss, he functions, but there's no flash, there's no...
William Forsythe. I couldn't remember his name. William Forsythe.
Yeah, man, he's so good in here.
I have like a bad view of him in my eyes because I feel like I saw him play like the heavy in like a movie or two in the 90s where he's got like a dumb accent and he's lame. That's the box I've put him in. And then in this, I'm like, fuck yeah.
Yeah, he's been this guy, but as a street tough.
Yeah.
Heavy. He's been that crooked, sleazy cop. He's been a murderer or a rapist or something. And here, it starts like that. And you're like, oh, he's racist too? Good,
yeah.
Good Lord, But, boy, at the end of this movie, man, they're all so good. You really spend time with them, and they bring you in, and, God, Rosa.
The nurse?
Yeah.
She's dead. Elizabeth Pena?
Oh, is she dead?
She was in Jacob's Ladder also. I was listening to the Jacob's Ladder episode of Werewolf Ambulance, and they mentioned that she had died. I think cirrhosis of the liver, some sort of alcoholism-related death.
Man.
Within the last 10 years.
Yeah, 2014. Wow.
Yeah, she's great in this.
I love her. In general, I've always liked her when I've seen her. Yeah.
Maybe you should have tried harder to save her.
I should have. I fucked up.
Yeah.
But she's super great here, and so is, what's his name, Mel?
Oh, the doctor, the other nurse guy?
The male nurse guy, yeah. Well, why don't we get into the synopses and we can roll from there?
Oh. That was an unintentional pun.
Yeah.
The Waterdance. Author Joel Garcia, Eric Stoltz's life is upended after a hiking accident renders him paralyzed from the waist down. Confined to the care of a rehabilitation ward, Joel must contend with the cadre of colorful, chair-bound cohorts constantly testing his patience in the form of loudmouth, self-professed ladies' man Raymond Hill, Wesley Snipes, and racist biker ganger Bloss, William Forsythe, and Bloss's doting, optimistically naive mother Pat Grace Zabriskie. But Joel finds comfort in his married girlfriend Anna, Helen Hunt, who is determined to help Joel convalesce and not let the stark reality of his new life destroy the man she loves. With the help of nurses Rosa, Elizabeth Pena, and Les, William Allen Young, everyone will have to contend with life as they know it if they want to avoid drowning in the endless ocean that surrounds them by mastering their own forms of the water dance. Can I just start with a little bit of horny?
Please.
His mom?
Yeah.
So she's always like a spooky old lady and stuff.
Yeah. She's also Susan's mother on Seinfeld.
Oh, sure. Okay. So, I mean, and she's a bit old in this, too. She's still old.
Mm-hmm. But if this is the youngest I've seen her, I think.
There's like a shot of like her body up tight, and I was like, fuck.
Uh-huh. I want to rock with you all night.
That's all I got, man. But I was like, I immediately did a 180 on that one. I was like, hi, all right.
Because she's Laura Palmer's mother.
Oh, is she? Yeah, she's always like a crazy, scary lady.
Yeah, and in here, boy, you know, like I said, she's optimistically naive, but she's a real character.
I'll help her take care of William Forsythe.
Yeah, like it's insane because he's a, you know, bike gang racist hooligan, and she looks like maybe she had a touch of that.
Yeah.
You know, but not now. But she still loves him, you know, and she still licks her hand and, oh my, I'm waiting for that money.
Yeah.
You know, because he's delusional, waiting for a $2 million settlement.
I mean, that's not really fair. He doesn't know.
I think what it is, yeah, he doesn't know, but also the illusion or the prospect of that is what he's clinging to make everything better.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have to worry about the fact that I'm in a chair. This is out there, and I'm entitled to that.
Yeah.
And not at all.
Tony, who cut down the trees, was telling me about his friend who busts out his motorcycle every year, and some lady hit him with their van. Wasn't paying attention, and he's like, I mean, he's got an ungodly amount of money now, but what good's that? I mean, he doesn't get to ride anymore. His life's changed.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yeah, and so the movie starts, and Eric Stoltz is on a gurney, and he's got the halo unit on. I think they drill it into your head.
They sure do.
You know,
they drill little screws into your skull to hold it in place.
Yeah, man, and you're just like, oh boy, and Mel's like, you know, hey man, it ain't all that bad, and
he's not even really talking to anybody. He's like fully detached.
Yeah, he's not there at all. He's weeping slightly.
He's got that gnarly, bloody slice in his forehead that I really like that.
And the aging on it, it's a good way to keep some semblance of time. Mm-hmm. And it looks real as fuck and gnarly. And so he's wheeling him through. He's outside, and suddenly he leaves him to go look to see if his bed is ready. And a guy in a wheelchair rolls up. An electric wheelchair. Mm-hmm. Maybe he was doing the straw thing. I can't tell. But he just looks at Joel. Joel looks at him. And then
such a strange thing. Mm-hmm. This guy mystifies me. Mm-hmm. No dialogue. Shows up again at the end.
Mm-hmm.
And I assumed it. I had thought initially it was the writer-director.
Yep.
And it was not. It's some other guy.
Yep.
And he's an actor, so I guess he's probably not from... Maybe he is from the care facility that the writer-director was in. Maybe he met him there, and they're both, from Hollywood, so they overlap. I don't know.
Yeah, like I said, he was on an episode of Hawaii Five. He's credited as being on an episode of Hawaii Five-0, the original.
As Wheels?
No. Oh. As a naval officer. And then he's credited in an episode of Magnum P.I.
As Wheels?
No. What was the other one? Oh, some martial arts show and that I couldn't find, and this. So it's not him in Magnum P.I. It's like a Samoan or something. Same name, I guess. But I think it is him in Hawaii Five-0, and he's just seated in the passenger seat in his naval uniform while this other naval guy's driving, and Jack Lord's in the back, incognito, you know? So I'm like, that does kind of look like him, but there's nothing on him, you know? There's no way to indicate if, he was just a small-time actor that got injured, is in that chair, met Jimenez somehow while they were doing his thing. And
what's that guy's name? Jimenez? What's this? Neal Jimenez?
I thought it was Joel, is it not?
No, I don't know.
No, that's Neal Jimenez,
who is now dead.
Yeah, he died
last year.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh,
I think it was last year.
Okay. So, that's sort of the closest element of like mysticism in this movie.
I don't know that I would classify it as mysticism.
Well, that's what I mean. That's as close as they get.
Yeah.
It's not that at all.
Yeah.
It's just sort of, you don't know what it is, but it's not like he's magic, but that's as close as this movie gets to something like that.
Yeah, he's wheels.
Yeah. And so they set him up in the room, and it's like a big room with several other patients in it. Bloss, as we had already discussed.
I'm gonna fucking kill you, Vernon! You don't shut the fuck up!
Wesley Snipes, who's a ladies' man.
I just want to talk to my woman. A man has got a right to talk to his woman, doesn't he?
There's an older guy there who's just sort of there. There's an older Hispanic gentleman.
Rosita, eres tan bonita,
Mister, not in front of your wife?
Which we don't see much. He's got
No.
like 4 cut-tos.
He leaves at one point, then gets readmitted. I think because he fell or something again.
His family dumped him out of that chair down some stairs.
And I forgot to write the guy's name down.
Yes, I am.
Nell?
The guy, Rosa!
Yeah.
Rosa!
Len? Maybe it's Len.
I'm here, Vernon. Don't worry about that. You get used to it.
That guy's... I like that they didn't reveal him for quite a while.
Yeah, me
I
too.
almost hoped he was just going to be a voice, but I was also like, I hope we get to see him.
Yeah. And we do.
But then when he speaks, I mean, we'll get there, but he speaks an actual sentence to Eric Stoltz, and I'm like, wait a minute, what? I thought he only knew like 3 words.
He's behind a curtain. We don't see him. And I feel like that's it at first. And then, of course, Bloss's mother.
I'm gonna slap you silly. You don't
Hey, he does it just to bother me.
So they set him up, and, he's just in this room. And it's very much, my mom was in a room sort of similar to this. Except because of COVID, she was in it by herself. But it was a larger 2-person room with the prospect that at some point maybe they would put another person in there. But that facility was actually quite terrible, so we got her out of there. So he's just sort of, and Helen Hunt,
Hi, I'm Anna.
who reveals that she is with him to some extent,
Yeah.
but she is also very much married.
You two are married, huh?
No, we're friends.
Oh, excuse me. I mean, I saw the ring and I just...
I'm married.
I find this so crazy to me that this is just how it is.
His name is David.
Oh, I got you.
She seems to really love him. And I guess we see this gender flipped all the time where it's like the guy who is the girlfriend, he loves the girlfriend, but he's never going to leave the
her,
wife.
right.
Yeah. It's really strange to see it flipped around and it be Helen Hunt.
Raymond Hill understands these matters.
Because I guess she worked for him or with him as a publisher. I don't know. But because, boy, he starts ribbing on her real hard when she brings him that Macintosh Apple II computer or whatever it is. Mm-hmm. He starts typing on it. He's like, how often do you fuck him?
Yeah.
Tramp?
Answer it. Type back to me.
We've established that Wesley Snipes is a loudmouth. He's making all sorts of braggadocio claims. We find out that he has a wife and child that he's going to go home to. Bloss is trying to get this settlement. Len had been awarded some large chunk of money, but he's, effectively brain damaged.
Yeah, he's got a traumatic brain injury he's pretty rocked out.
Yeah, he's probably more aware than we're aware, but
What? What does that mean?
Somewhere in there, it's like you're always watching, no matter how locked away you are within yourself. I think when you see a lot of these people that are, in all these stages of cognition, that somewhere in there, you're always sort of there.
Is that what Creed's My Own Prison is? Is that what it's
Yeah.
about?
So you're just locked away and you can't get out. It's like Get Lost or whatever that movie was. Where he sits in the chair and he just falls into like a Pepsi pool in his body.
Get Out.
There you go.
Sunken place.
So he, eventually we learn that he is in fact not quadriplegic.
Right.
He's paraplegic. So he does start regaining some functions. And I will say this, up to this point, I have never enjoyed Eric Stoltz.
We texted about this where I've never had a problem with him really. He seems fine and stuff, kind of, but I never thought he was a good actor. I mean,
he's one of those guys, it feels like a later Brad Pitt performance where he's playing this role, but he's also doing it in a way where it's very knowing, like we know him, but he hasn't earned that.
Are you saying like in typical Stoltz movies?
Yeah.
I do kind of like him in Noah Baumbach's first movie, Kicking
Squid
and
the Whale.
Screaming. No, it's from like 95. He plays this guy that they all know on campus who just keeps getting more degrees. Like he refuses to graduate like fully. He just keeps taking up more loads. He's been there for like 12 years.
Oh, sure.
He's pretty good in that.
It's like one of the characters from PCU.
Right. And by pretty good in that, I mean he's exactly like all the other Eric Stoltz characters I've seen.
Just kind of cruising.
Yeah. But what were you going to say about this performance?
I'm really impressed.
He's really fucking good in this.
Because they do a great, almost like turn where he fades away.
Yeah, he does not. He's no longer
like
the main
second act.
Yeah, he's no longer the main character.
And you're now invested in this new relationship forming with Bloss and Wesley Snipes, where they're both at each other's sort of throats proverbially. And like I said, Bloss is a racist, and Wesley Snipes is full of bluster. But eventually they form this unspoken bond that doesn't coalesce immediately.
It's thanks
and
to
it may never.
Alcohol brought them together.
On that one night, yeah. Because Bloss needed to hit rock bottom. They all did, because like Eric Stoltz is like real glib about it. We see a one-sided psychiatric session or therapeutic session where they're jump cutting and it's handled just as poorly as Love and Other Consequences. And they hadn't figured it out yet, I don't think, at this point.
Yeah.
But he's just like, yeah, I don't feel it. I don't, blah, blah, blah. I'm probably projecting. Is this denial, Doc? And, just real arrogant sort of about it. Tough, some might say. And they're all like that in their own way and delusional to a slight degree. And then they all get hit, and then we go back to Eric Stoltz and it refocuses on him. And man, he's just like really subtle.
It's
masterful, almost.
I find like from fucking right off the bat, there's like a real detached misery to him. I've never seen him embody somebody the way he does in this movie. It's really, Eric, I'm sorry that I was not giving you the props you deserved, man.
And there's an interesting element where when he lashes out, somehow he manages to keep it within the confines of the chair. The repercussions never ripple out beyond like the length of his arms, it feels. So when he's just really trying to lash out, it's like there's no impact beyond himself. It's really good. He's very, very good in here. Helen Hunt is pretty good considering it takes a while to get there.
I mean, I don't think anybody's bad in this whole fucking thing.
No, God, no. Even Song, who wasn't really anybody.
It's not Sun, it's Song?
Song, S-A-N-G, which I assume is Song. His name is Tai Tai, but he's got a microscopic part.
Yeah.
Actually, Len's probably not really anything to write home about when we finally see him.
Oh, the nurse?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's Mel. The guy, Rosa.
I mean, he doesn't really do anything.
No, but he has one line that could have been his to own.
He says, "Can you fix the TV?"
Yep.
Who would have thought he could say that?
Yeah, it's very true.
Rosa!
Because he keeps yelling for Mel, the male nurse.
Mel!
And she goes, calling on you. Because William Forsythe, he throws a pillow to shut him up and it suffocates him.
I know. It seems like he can kind of use his hand a little bit. You'd think he'd move the pillow?
Yeah.
And he's with it enough to ask for the TV to be fixed. But then again, we don't know how brain injuries work.
Right.
You know, different things might be firing off at different parts of the brain at different times. You know, he might not be able to put together, I need to move this pillow.
So they remove him. And so Mel goes to check on him, comes back in, and now he's screaming, Rosa. So he somehow influenced him to start calling for Rosa.
No. He taught him. He taught him that because he's always calling for Mel. And then he's like, why don't you help him? He's calling for you.
Right. So but I mean, he somehow just...
I think he's there enough. Yeah, I guess it seemed like he got done pretty fast, but you would think over time you could train him to say Rosa.
Yeah, that would have been a nice little...
Train. That might not be...
that would have been a nice little short ongoing bit where you just keep seeing him feeding him or something. Rosa.
I
love you.
I sound like half in the bag. Right?
yeah, you did.
Rosa.
I don't even like movies.
Half in the bag.
You're him.
Yeah, I am. I didn't want to tell you. I just, it's me.
Yeah, I was going to try to do Rich's laugh, but I realized there's no way I can do that.
I can't even. Oh, shit.
She really.
That's perfect.
Yeah, thanks. He gets it. The dog.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you know, he keeps lashing out at Helen Hunt.
Which he eventually reveals he hates her.
Pushes her away, pushes her back, but he writes her a letter, makes her weep. There's an ongoing bet where Wesley Snipes has had sex with a stripper, and there's $100 on the line between him and Bloss.
Apparently, it's very important part of the bet is that she's white, right?
That too.
They keep bringing that up.
Hey, Ray, where is this white woman if she's in love with you, man? Where is she? I'll tell you what, man, just to shut you the fuck up, I'll wager good money that this white bitch don't even exist except in your fucking black head, man.
And we see that Wesley Snipes' wife wants nothing to do with him.
Your wife don't even come to visit you, homie.
No, it's so sad when she finally comes in with the daughter.
Who seems to really care less or have any affinity for the fact that it's her father.
It's a real bummer because clearly he was a bad father and a bad husband and didn't do shit or care about them at all.
Yeah.
Until he was paralyzed.
Do you think his story was true?
Oh, no, didn't we get it from two different angles within the movie?
I think so. The first one he tells is two guys beat him up with a pipe.
Yeah.
And threw him over a bridge.
There's no water down there.
Into the LA River. But yeah, there's no... and it's probably that bridge we're all thinking of.
Iggy Pop floats by?
Uh-huh. And then later, the older nurse reveals a slightly different story, but now I can't remember what it was.
I have no clue. I mean, I would just assume it was drinking.
He was drinking and driving. Yeah, maybe that was it. Maybe his wife was involved too, and that's why she hates him.
I don't think she needs... I mean...
What she needs is a divorce.
What do you think he did for work? He never tells you?
I don't know. I could imagine he was maybe... Because this takes place in California.
Uh-huh.
He strikes me as maybe like a Detroit auto worker kind of guy.
Yeah.
Factory guy, you know.
That's a bummer.
Maybe he was just hustling on the b-ball court, working the janitor job. I don't know.
That's a bummer, because I was like...
Probably gambled.
It seems weird that he's got nothing after the accident. It's like, well, I mean, you could maybe get your job back. I mean, you've been in the hospital.
A job.
But I guess if he was working on like an auto line, he's not working in an office, he's not a salesman, then I don't know what you'd go back to.
Here's my biggest question to you.
I'm ready.
How are they driving the van?
I was quite confused about this as well, because there are hand-controlled vehicles. Yes. They would not have those for this facility.
The orderly or the nurse or whatever.
Right. They are not to be driving them.
No.
And nobody is on the ground pressing pedals, which is wildly dangerous.
Nobody on the staff is in a wheelchair that we're aware of.
Right.
So I assume, right, that it was one of those, but at the same time...
Maybe they have a training van to teach people how to drive again.
Maybe.
I don't know why it would be a van.
I thought we were going to see him with like some canes or something.
Yeah.
You know, working the driving and
Holly Hunter and Jesus the Son.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's got a soda in his crotch. So Bloss has like his biker gang come by at one point, and he calls the guy that hit him, and he's just showboating, and it's clear that This guy has like no idea about anything.
Yeah.
Wesley Snipes is getting close to being released. Song has come in now because what's the other guy's name? The older gentleman, Victor. He's left.
Mm-hmm.
Song's in. So actually, yeah, Bloss goes, I got the van keys, man. Let's go check out this Annabelle Lee. And he goes, nah, fuck that, man. I lied. It's bullshit. He's been drinking.
How would you even get the keys?
I don't know.
So this is after he's been released and he's now at the old folks' home because that's when.
No, that comes up later. He does ask him to go while he's still in the recovery ward, and because his family's dumped him, and he's just like, man, it's a lie. I lied, and
that's so fucked up that even his daughter doesn't like want to keep in touch with him at all. I mean, we don't know.
She might the older she gets.
It doesn't seem like he's a monster. Like maybe he just wasn't there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't seem like like he was in jail for an extended period of time, so she grew without him. It just seemed like he was a philanderer.
Yeah.
Probably loved her, but was drunk and with women,
mm-hmm.
and then got paralyzed and has been in the hospital now for maybe a couple months. I don't know.
Always stanking around like different ladies. You know what I'm saying, right? Yeah.
So Song's there. Wesley Snipes does get released, and he's going to an old folks' home.
That's so fucking horrible.
Because he even goes, man, who the fuck is going to take care of me? Like I got nothing without my family. His spirit's broken.
You can take care of yourself, right?
Oh, absolutely.
These guys, they don't have the use of their legs. Their arms are fine. He's a ninja in that fucking chair. He zips around. He's amazing. He's got great arm strength.
Well, and not only that, like, obviously he can be a salesperson.
Yeah.
But he lives in California, so you could probably also just go on disability.
Yeah. I feel like he could get an apartment.
Absolutely.
I don't think he has to go to an old folks home. Now, I think part of it is he's wildly depressed and maybe isn't trying to put in the leg work to get what he needs out of life, but it's really depressing that that's where he ends up.
Then it gets to the point where Bloss, because he finds out that Joel's last name is Garcia earlier in the movie, he goes, I'm out to draw a white man.
Well, no, he's talking all sorts of shit about... Is he talking about his Hispanics?
Yeah, blacks and Mexicans. And
yeah, he's really dropping some big words.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, my last name is Garcia.
Idiot.
Oh, God damn it.
Shit. Oh, we skipped over the part where him and Helen Hunt, he fingers her.
Yeah, there's a whole thing where they talk about how their dicks don't work anymore, and they go to that...
The motel.
No, the class, and the guy's like...
You gotta lick pussy.
Yeah, you gotta eat it up. And Wesley Snipes like, no, that's revolting. I would never do that.
Oh, and you saying you go down on a woman?
Every chance I get, Raymond.
Oh, that's disgusting. That's just absolutely disgusting.
Because there's that stigma
Yeah.
that black men don't eat pussy.
I think that's probably long gone by now.
Well, and I don't know if it was ever there. I think it was just sort of this machismo thing. Like,
well, it's also in The Sopranos. There's a whole storyline about like men are not supposed to be eating pussy. It's gay.
What it is
Gay
it's like
eat pussy.
The woman's supposed to be pleasuring you, man. You don't worry about her, man. And it's like, y'all do it. You just too afraid to talk about it. But Bloss is sort of starting to
blossom.
He was looking out a little bit for Wesley Snipes. He's looking out a little bit for Song.
I feel like he took up the Wesley Snipes position because Wesley Snipes, when Stoltz got there, was like, you need anything? Let me know, man.
Yeah,
and then
right.
Bloss does that to
Song, yeah.
Once William Forsythe, Bloss, finds out that he was drunk driving and that's how he ended up paralyzed.
He meets the lawyer.
It's not at all the other guy's fault. It's entirely his fault. That destroys his world and breaks down everything about him. And like whatever.
Well, because his mom also got him like a ambulance chaser from like a TV commercial.
Mm-hmm.
I'm no lawyer, but call 1-800-ASK-GARY for one.
So he's already like, oh man. And then, he can't really remember what's happening.
So he asks his friend, he's like, oh man, I mean, you were wasted, but...
Hey man, you still hit that red light or whatever and killed your spirit. Yeah. He gives him a biker vest.
All of them are like facing the death of their previous selves. I feel like this entire movie is about accepting the death of who you were and learning to be who you are now.
Well, and it's nice because each step of the way, although they heal slightly, they're not there yet. You know, so although Bloss is becoming just a more open and accepting and thoughtful person, there is still sort of like this element to him that's a little gruff. You know, but so he gets the keys one night and he goes, I know where Wesley Snipes is living at. We're going to go settle this bet once and for all. So they get into the van. Song comes with them. They suit him up.
Nah, man, I'm not bringing you with. I'm going to have to put your clothes on. And then he's in the van.
And he's in the van. So they go over to the old folk home.
Sneak into his room somehow.
Yeah, apparently if you're in a wheelchair, you can just walk right in. You know, I mean, I could enter my mom's assisted living apartment at any time, but once she was in nursing care, it was like, no, we close at 6.
Yeah.
You know, sorry, Jack. So he wakes up Wesley Snipes and, you know, he goes, hey, man, let's go check out this hooker or this dancer, Annabelle Lee. Man, shut up, man. I ain't doing it. It seems like he's about to do it, but he comes out and he doesn't do it.
Don't tell me what to do. I'm going to call the nurse.
Yeah.
Oh, man, don't do that.
What the fuck, bro? So they go to the strip club. He's like, hey, we're out.
It's so sad when Snipes won't come with them.
It is.
I mean, part of that might be he doesn't want her to see him this way.
That could be.
But honestly, it really just seems like he's defeated and given up and he wants nothing to do with anything and he never wants to go anywhere or be around people ever again.
Well, yeah, because what if she is happy to see him? Even though he's not who he was, right? But also maybe he's getting into his head where it did happen, but why would she remember me? I'm just some loudmouth or whatever. So they go to the strip club, and there's a stripper up there, and they're just kind of doing whatever, and Joel pays to get them in. He pays to get them sodas because Bloss has
He doesn't have any money for the sodas.
Oh, that's right.
They want a decent amount of money for those sodas once they're already in. It's $30 to get in.
Yep.
And then I don't know if she wants like $14 a soda.
$10 soda or some shit, right? And then they notice Mel's there.
Yeah.
And hey, Mel, pay for our sodas. Oh man, god damn it.
Like some root beer or something?
As though like, oh man, you like strippers? We'll rat you out and you'll lose your whole life.
Yeah, because I think he's married.
Oh, I suppose. I mean, honestly,
but it's not like she's gonna leave you. Maybe she would.
If I was Mel, I would be thrilled to see those guys.
I'd just be like, fuck yeah, bro.
Yeah, dude. Guys, let's party and we'll never talk about this again.
Or we'll make it a thing.
Yeah.
And so, you know, he's next to them and they're drinking out of the bottle and the bag. And all of a sudden, hey, fellas, we got a hot number coming out.
Please join me in welcoming a sassy bit of jailbait.
On the stage, welcome Annabelle Lee and everybody. What the hell?
Don't be shy with your dollar bills.
Hey, guy in a wheelchair, settle down. He goes, hey, you know Wesley Snipes? And she goes, oh, yeah. You make it with him? Oh, yeah. Tell him I'm thinking about him or some shit. What? Oh, yeah. And then he starts just pouring money everywhere. And so they go back to the home and Bloss gives Joel... No, he doesn't, because all of a sudden Wesley Snipes calls one night and he's drunk.
Wasted.
Oh, because they did do the scene where him and Bloss were drinking outside, balancing in their wheelchairs, and they fall back. And that's when Wesley Snipes reveals his dream about dancing on water.
I'm on this lake, and I'm standing up. No chair, man. Sky, a beautiful blue all around me. And I'm standing on the water. But I'm dancing, see? And that's the only way I can stay up is do this dance. And I know that as soon as I quit, forget it, that's it. I'm going down. I can't swim. No land for miles around. So I keep doing this dance. I get tired. I keep doing this dance. Tired doing that dance. Get tired. So tired. And then I wake up.
It's a sad dream.
Yeah.
Don't like that.
Oh. So Wesley Snipes calls him. He's drunk. I'm just going to wheel in front of a bus, which they had talked about previously before he left. So Bloss is just like, I got to call him. You got to find him. And like, we called the safety check. I mean, what else can we do? And they call somebody else and they get cut off because the phone division is terrible at putting their calls through, keeping their calls running.
They cut off the call with Snipes, and Snipes is like, why'd you hang up on me?
Mm-hmm. Before, not this call.
I think
he's calling somebody, and they cut off. And then they do that now, but he doesn't say that. Why'd you hang up on me? I don't think. Oh, no, he did.
He does.
But he does it to Bloss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am a little confused about these guys.
It's a man and a woman.
Right. I guess what I was thinking is they're not letting them make phone calls for their own like psychological benefit. Like it seems like they won't let William Forsythe call that guy and harass him.
Mm-hmm.
Is it a power trip? Are they like, is this part of their therapy that they won't allow them to reach out to people if things are too intense, they cut the calls? Or do they just straight up suck at their job? Why is there switchboard operators? They should just be phones.
Yeah, I don't understand.
Is this movie in the 30s?
I don't think so.
No. So why is there switchboard operators?
It's hard to tell. It seems like at times it might just be the fact that it's aged equipment. That it just sucks. Right? Because, yeah, it's 92. Why is there a switchboard, right?
I feel like if there's a communications building, there's a reason they have them there to cut off calls, which seems weird because they're adults.
I think then also maybe it has something to do with they have to actually do some sort of level of interaction with the call that they just can't be bothered with.
Yeah.
You know, because we do see the guy and he keeps hitting the lady with rubber bands.
Yeah, he's a dick.
You know, and I don't know, man. So Eric Stoltz gets into his chair. He hits that nos and just rockets over there.
I thought that he was going to go look for Snipes.
Me too.
Yeah.
Because he's just wheeling it out of there.
And we had already seen somebody else yell at that building earlier. Was it Bloss?
It was Wesley Snipes.
Okay.
So he goes over there and hey, motherfuckers, cutting off our calls and shit.
But there's steps. So
one step.
Can't go get them.
Maybe two. So he gets a piece of wood.
Yeah.
And he throws it down, and he's got one side of a ramp. Turns around and Bloss is there with the other side.
Now that door probably opens outwards.
Oh, absolutely.
So,
and it's like a heavy metal door.
Yeah.
And so he gets in though, and hey man, you cut off our calls, and our friend's in trouble, and he lunges at the guy and
tries to kill him.
He's strangling him.
Yeah.
Bloss is like, hell yeah, brother, and the woman's just like, oh. And then the police come, and because eventually Eric Stoltz just like collapses and lets the guy go. The police come, and I want to press charges, and they're just like, oh man, just.
I don't think you should. They're in wheelchairs. They're not real people.
He assaulted me. She saw it. And she's like, nah, I don't know.
Isn't that weird that they're like, we're not going to do that?
Mm-hmm. He's the cripple.
I mean, that is very much the tone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I was watching an episode of Perry Mason, and a woman was being accused of murdering a guy, but she said she had amnesia, and before they knew who she was in a hospital, and they put a picture in the newspaper like, do you know this woman? And her father reached out, and he called Perry Mason to go get her, and he goes, well, why don't you just go get her? And he goes, well, I'm a cripple. And Perry goes, I understand. I'll go take care of it.
Well, I mean, this is old Perry Mason.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there might not be ramps, you know.
He had canes. He used 2 canes.
Oh.
Because he could walk, but he couldn't quite support himself.
Okay.
He wasn't in a wheelchair.
Okay.
He also didn't use one of those horns to hear things.
Okay.
They end up finding Snipes. He's fine.
Why are you watching Perry Mason all the time now? You like it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So Wesley Snipes, he's back. And Bloss gives him $40.
It was a C note.
Because he, man, we saw Annabelle leave, man.
Why did he end up back in the home? Something happened to him?
I think maybe he fell or something. At the home.
Did he tear something?
He may have.
Oh, wait. They're going to fuse part of his intestine to something?
Oh, that's right. They're doing something with his stomach. And so he's recovering there.
They cut me up tomorrow. Gonna sew some of my stomach onto my bladder. You know, a man's got to have a big bladder.
Slightly earlier, Helen Hunt and Eric Stoltz go to a hotel.
I like how your brain went here as soon as I mentioned like the stomach and the stuff. Yeah, because it made me think of it too.
And they're, getting sexy.
You get to see Helen Hunt's boobs. You never thought you'd see them.
And they're
Here
nice.
They are.
They're really nice little titties.
They are very nice.
He sucks on them, too.
Yeah.
That's a different time.
It's some hot shit.
It is. And she goes, oh, it's wet.
Yeah.
He goes, oh, my pee bag.
Yeah. They wear those weird long cock socks.
Like the guy in California.
Right.
But he's walking.
Yeah.
What's the prerequisite?
I don't know.
Apparently not walking.
It leaked. His cock sock leaked on the hotel bed while they're fooling
He doesn't
around.
have a colostomy bag.
No.
So he must still poop. Maybe involuntarily.
Yeah, I can't imagine he knows it's coming.
No, but...
Maybe they plug it up.
She goes, oh, no, that's totally fine. I'm just going to get a little towel, you know?
You know, you get those plugs with the tail coming out. Yeah.
And she goes, yeah. And it goes right into your mouth. And she goes, I'll just get a little towel. It's totally fine, dude. I am still raring to go here.
Yeah.
And he goes, nah. And we see him full nude, but he's holding his pecker. And she's running around pretty much full nude.
Uh-huh.
And she's like, no, dude, just slide it in. Just
That's not... No, she knows it doesn't work.
You can still kind of push it in.
No, we've talked about flaccid penises trying to stuff them in before.
Yeah, you suck it in.
Work. No, it does not do that.
And then you stand up and you stretch it.
But you could say, sit on my face and maybe do it for too long so I die.
I think she's just grinding on him, to be honest, because she's digging it. But
oh
he
my
goes,
God.
no.
I got injured when I was a teenager from a girl grinding on my hip bone. It was horrible.
Gotta be careful.
It was uncomfortable and terrible.
Gotta be careful, man. He's turned off. Disgusting.
Why? He's just so ashamed and embarrassed. It's such a sad thing to have happened.
Yeah. Well, no, and it's true, but she's like totally about it. She goes, you got another sock? You know, don't worry about it, honey. He's like, no.
Do I have time to wash up? No, come on!
And so...
This is your fault!
So she, one day, she goes, hey, I left my husband. I got us an apartment, and, you know, we're going to be doing our thing.
He threw the phone through the window.
He's going to be fucking me while you're in the cuck chair.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know? And he goes, I think you should stay with your husband. She goes, what?
You could have told me about this.
Well, what do you? It's not you, it's me. He's like, look, this is silly. You know, you're married. He's not a bad guy. What we have is whatever, and you're still going to be a part of my life. You're still beholden to caring for me, and, you know, don't think you're off the hook.
I find this whole situation pretty sad, too.
Yeah,
I don't like this.
Terribly sad.
I mean, I guess this might be part of the putting things to rest of your past life, but at the same time, she's really, like, good for him. And if he could just get past being so awful to her, which he is getting past it, I feel like they can make it work. And also...
because he can't feel anything. He says that. Like, you're playing with my wiener, and I feel nothing.
I think you can get by without a dick if somebody loves you enough.
Yeah.
Like that guy said, you know? Mm-hmm. I mean, you can do other things.
Here's the thing. They sell dicks now.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know that. So if she wanted to, she could just strap you up and grind on you.
Right. No problem.
You go down on that cunny.
Yeah, as long as you're eating it regularly, I think there you go. Maybe she wants to slap on a strap on too and see if you bust a nut if she just rails you.
And if not, you ain't feeling it, so she can go hog wild on that butt. You prolapse, you have no idea.
I think there's a lot more options. I think maybe we have a better attitude about it now. I don't know.
Yeah, you know, right, because obviously if the love is there, that's where the passion comes from, I'm being told. And if nothing else, like drill down further into it. Establish it, lock it up, get her social security card.
You're talking about that. All right.
You know, but so they're friends now, effectively.
Yeah.
She will continue, I guess, to be his assistant. She's his Sharona now, and so Bloss is leaving. He, you know, says his goodbyes to Snipes. I imagine I'd like to think that because Eric Stoltz even says in a perfect world they would be a couple.
Yeah.
Right.
Why can't they be roommates? Is that what you're thinking too? I mean, all three of these motherfuckers could get a pad together.
Wheelbound detectives.
Yeah.
Right?
I don't know how they're detectives, but yeah.
They become detectives.
Oh, that sounds good.
You know, they got time, right? They're just wheeling around.
Yeah.
But they always have to have a disguise that requires them to be in a wheelchair. You know? Or like something like that. Mm-hmm. I'd like to think that him and Bloss find their way to connect.
I mean, in reality, they probably never ever see each other again.
Probably, yeah.
It would be nice.
I imagine Snipes might continue on his downward spiral.
Yeah, he's not doing so good.
And he's going to end up in a bad spot. Bloss might go on to teach.
I mean, being abandoned by your family because of things you've done.
Mm-hmm.
I think, yeah.
And knowing that you deserve it.
Yeah, it's some pretty end of the road shit.
Because he maybe he's smacking on her.
I don't even know that he was abusive.
Maybe
I just
once or
feel
twice.
Checked out. I mean, I guess, yeah. 92.
Helen Hunt even says that her husband knows about Joel and he's fine with it. And so Joel writes the book and leaves, and the guy comes back out in his chair, watches him go, and the movie is over. God, I tell you, man.
This is a pretty great movie.
This is this is my favorite Wesley Snipes movie that we've watched.
That's fair.
Even though this isn't my favorite Wesley Snipes performance.
I liked Wildcats a lot, but this is some real movie shit right here. It's like a real personal story. I did not anticipate such well drawn out characters at all.
Yeah, I was expecting the worst, and man, by the end of it, I was fucking yelling at the TV.
I had my hopes up. I actually was like, this could be the best Snipes movie. I think that possibly might get rid of all the I don't know what baggage I would attribute it to him, but putting him in a wheelchair, I feel like was really going to make him act, and I feel like he did really well.
This is a good one, man. This is a really strong movie.
Yeah, if you guys ever want to see Eric Stoltz be amazing, watch this shit.
There's some broad strokes, but there's such specificity in it as well.
Yeah, I think that's really key there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like revelatory.
His anger is really fantastic.
Oh,
in this
man.
movie.
Yeah, we didn't even talk about the scene where he's talking to Len or whatever. He goes to fix the TV.
He talks about his beautiful wife.
And he just fucking... Yeah, because his
cock
wife
doesn't work.
I guess smoking hot.
She looked pretty good. She gave him that weird little kind of smile when she walked by.
But he just breaks down and tells the guy everything, and the guy's sleeping.
Yeah, he's sleeping.
Pooping.
Works my turver. I kind of love this movie.
What do you give the movie?
I would give it a 7.5.
Okay, yeah. I'm going to give it a 7. I'll give it a 7.5 as well. I was going to go 7, and I was going to go 8, but I'm going to go right in the middle.
It's like a really impressive treat. Something you didn't see coming, where I thought it would be good. I just did not know that it was going to be this specific, that everybody was going to be so on point. I love it. It's great.
This is my favorite Fourth Sith.
I mean, yeah, definitely.
I wouldn't have ever thought of him.
No.
Although it's not my favorite Wesley Snipes performance, it's a very good Wesley Snipes performance.
He's very good in this.
What do you give him?
I'm going to give him a 7.5 also. This is the best I've seen him. I think I really like this movie. I respect it a lot. I think Wildcats ends up being my favorite of all the movies because overall it was very entertaining.
Yeah.
But his performance in this, it is good. I feel like I'm really getting something out of him. I've been real confused about this run where I kind of like him in some stuff, but I feel like he's not really doing anything in most of it. But I thought he was good.
I'm going to give him a 7.5 as well.
God damn, look at us, the 7.5 brothers.
So that's it. The Waterdance.
Yep.
Highly recommend watching it.
Yeah, you should check it out. We watched it. Did you watch it on Daily Motion also?
I did.
Yeah, I don't know where else you would find it. You can maybe buy a VHS.
I think I watched it on Tubi. We're on the Insta. We're on the Face'a. We're on the
Reddit,
YouTube.
We doing filmographies.
Add a Gmail on there, and you can email us.
Give us a call at
763-634-1897. We're on all your podcast apps. You should rate us. You should like us. You should share us.
And if you do review us, let us know, and you can go ahead and pick a movie, and we'll cover it on the show.
Yeah, and if you call us, you can also pick a movie.
I don't know about that.
The first caller ends the sweepstakes.
That sounds pretty all right. You can also go over to the nowplayingnetwork.net, listen to plenty of other great shows. Final Emergency Directors Club. Tracks of the Damned has not put out an episode in quite a while. And Christmas Actually. There's plenty of other great ones that you can find there. I am going to pee myself.
Feel free to leave us a review on iTunes. Apparently that's the creme de la creme of reviewing podcast sites or whatever. So we'll be back next week with the 10th Wesley Snipes film in our first Wesley Snipes run, White Men Can't Jump. I've been Jules. He's been Jason. We are out of here.